guys. Today with this third tutorial we're going to continue the server part and we're going to start creating the client side. For first we're going to develop the first parsing data function. In the last tutorial we sent for as first string the tilde, asking for PC information such as PC username, and in the next tutorials we're going to add some columns such as antivirus, operative system, and so on. But now we're going to parse when the client will send this symbol. So now we can just copy them and say select case A0, A0 that will be the first character, the first string, and then we can say parse by tilde, and we can add a new item to the main list view to allow to the user to see that the client is connected. So we can create a new list view item. So we can say dim as new list view item. For first arg we can say the text of this, so we can just add the PC username. You can modify the column order to put the IP1 in the first place of the list view. And maybe we will do that, but for now we'll just continue with this in this way. So we can say PC usernames will be the first part of the string we will receive, so we can say A1 and then L dot subitems dot add, and now we can use the function we developed the last time to get the IP. So we can use the IP function of our socket server. So we can say s.ip, and we will use the sock value to get the IP of the socket using the remote endpoint. So now we have the PC username in the first place and the IP address in the second place. Next tutorials we will use the gip.dat file to extract the client location, I mean the flag, but this would be a complex thing. And now we can just set as tooltip text the sock integer value, and we will use this when we need to send data to a selected client of our list view. And this is the first thing we have done. You can use another kind of syntax, just making this one.items.add sock.toString A1 0. By doing this instead of this, you're just going to create the list view item in another way, and you're going to add the list view item in the socket position. All right. So you can use both of them. Maybe now I'm going to use the first one. Maybe it's more comfortable or more easier. And this is the first thing. Now we can create the client side, adding a new project to our main solution. So we're going to call it just client. It's always a Windows format. Alright, so now we don't care about the the GUI because this is going to be hidden when the main exe will be executed. But now we need a socket client class that will be a lot more or less the same thing as the socket server, just some other things will be removed or modified. So in the client we just add a new class called socket client. Select class, add. Now we can start developing this class, so we can proceed like the socket server side. I'm not going to explain this because it's almost the same thing, just this is not going to accept connection, it will just send data back to the server. So this is pretty easy to understand. It's just an easy class. So let's keep going as TCP client. As the last time, we need to import system.net sockets. Now we create the events. Now we create two try. Now we say if C is not nothing, then C dot close. C equals nothing. As you can understand, this is the connect function, and he will try to connect to the remote endpoint. So we don't need this. Now we can create another variable that will be a boolean. So until is busy equals false. And now we say trading sleep, so thread current thread dot sleep on, just to be sure. C equals new TCP client, C dot connect H, comma B, and we start a new thread. That will be the receive function as the socket server, so address of RC, that would be the receiver. And we just pass as max stack 10. Let's make all equals t.start, and then raise the events connected. In case you can't connect to the remote server, just raise the event disconnected. Alright, so now we need to use the same packet splitter that we used in the socket server. So we are going to copy this string, this line in the socket server, and we're going to pass it here, because we need the same exactly string, or you're not going to receive anything. You're going just to see the connection, but you're not going to receive strings and packets. Actually, you're going to receive packets, but will not able to parse them. And now we can just create the disconnected event, the disconnect event, sorry. Try, always, I fucked up some word. C dot close. You see, I cannot write it. It will just end the try, C equals nothing, and then raise event disconnected. Pretty easy. Now I think we are going to develop the toSend function that we already developed in the same project, so just in the socket server. I can say send bybar s as string, overload it, and just say sb string byte array. No, we don't need this. Always in the next tutorial we're going to develop the function that we will, hopefully we will just copy this module and we will pass in the client side, but I want to be sure that we are going to make everything in the right way, so be patient. Send by values will be the overload as byte. And now we say try, then we are going to write to the memory stream that will be our socket data. And write, now the byte, the offset, and b.length that will be the amount. That's right, SB SPL, so the packet splitter. SPL, and always 0, and always SPL.length. And now we can say client.send m2 array, comma, and no, sorry, the socket flag, alright, 0, and then m.length, and for the last, I don't remember, socket flags equals none, yes, and if it can send, just disconnect. Alright, perfect. Now we need the last function, that is the rc, what is it, here, the rc function, will be a private sub, rc, and we say that he's busy, so he says that he's connected and he's sending stuff, so we say he's busy when it equals true. Now dim m as new IO memory stream, always the same. Dim cc as integer, just a counter, equals 0. We just sleep the current thread for a second. Current thread dot sleep 1 trading dot thread current, perfect. Now we say try if c is not nothing, then go to our label that we will CO, will be CO. But before else, if c dot client dot connected equals false, go to CO again. Yeah, now we can say and as again here we increment our counter, is not connected, and we can say that if is measured than 100, cc equals 0, and we will make another loop. So if c client dot hold -1, and now we can say net.sockets select sockets, goddamn sockets dot select mode dot select read, yeah, and we can say that if is not available, c dot client dot unavailable equals 0, then I think we can just send it to the same label Yeah, why not? We can just go to CO, we will say just disconnect everything, so we can say go to CO again, and always in the exception, just get out of this. Now we are done for this. We can create instead if is available, so major than 0, db. You can define the C available -1 as byte, and we can say receive, and we say b, comma 0, b dot length, comma net dot sockets. Always we can, of course, we can set the socket flags dot known. Alright, so now we're receiving the data from memory stream, and we can say m dot write b, comma 0, comma b dot length. Now we can create another label that will be error. And now we try to parse the byte from string and to array dot contains SPL. So we say if is the packet splitter, then just parse the next stuff. So we can define as array equals fx, always the same function, the func module. And we say and to array, comma SPL. We will just split the packets. Now we can raise the event data where we are going to parse the data even in our client side. Of course, data 0 just relays all the resources, and we say m, goddamn m, new IO memory stream if a dot length equals to, then m dot write a1 0 a1 dot length. We just leave this, tired of rewriting this, and then we say go to error. Alright, and if we raise an exception, we can just send it to the CO label. And now at the end of this, we can just resend it to another label that will be the RE label, and we can place these in the same position of the socket server. So maybe here I want to write RE, goddamn piece of crap. Right. Perfect. We say go to CO and we go to RE. And in the last, we're going to write the last two things. So we're going to create the last label, and we can say is busy equals false. So we came to the end of the function, and we can raise the disconnect event. Perfect. So now we have our socket client. Just save it, and now we can receive and send stuff from and to the socket client and the socket server, both of them. And we are done for this tutorial because this was just, I wanted to make it shorter, but in the next one we are going to send and receive data from the socket client, the socket server. We'll just take it easy, so be patient. In the next one we're going to make a lot of stuff, and I'm going to record all the pieces and just put it on YouTube. So see you in the next tutorial, guys, and thanks for watching.